So Labor Day was Monday. I just want to remind everybody how bad Walmart is for our economy. And we've really, capitalism. A lot of people warned us about what happens with capitalism, and it's happening. So this is from Forbes report: Walmart workers cost taxpayers $6.2 billion in public assistance. This is from The Nation. Walmart wages are the main reasons people depend on food stamps. The Supplemental Nutritional Assistance Program, SNAP, is a means of survival for families earning minimum wage. Well, Walmart isn't paying for those food stamps, now called SNAP. You are. The annual bill that states and the federal government foot for working families making poverty level wages is $153 billion. A single Walmart supercenter costs taxpayers between $904,000 and $1.75 million per year in public assistance money. According to Florida Congressman Alan Grayson, in many states, Walmart employees are the largest group of Medicaid recipients. They are also the single biggest group of food stamp recipients. In other words, those everyday low prices at the chain are in part subsidized by your tax money. Meanwhile, an estimated 18% of food stamps are spent at Walmart. So do you see how Walmart does that? They get you coming and going. So they pay you a low wage, you have to go get on public assistance. The government then gives you money, you come back, you give it to Walmart. So they're getting money both ways. Isn't that, talk about a welfare program for a freaking corporation.
And Jimmy, sometimes people like to argue, well, if you don't like what you're being paid, then go get another job.
Right.
That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about providing a livable wage.
Right, we're talking about the biggest retailer in America. This isn't some guy, some local jagoff has a corner store. You don't have to work here. No, this is someone who comes in, decimates your local economy so those jobs dry up and the only place left to work in your economy is a fucking Walmart. That's what's called predatory capitalism, you jagoffs, and that's what's happening right now. Walmart doesn't help improve towns. It sucks, it sucks, it sucks the resources out of a community. Steph?
Well, a simple piece of data to consider is, you gave us the billions of dollars that we subsidize Walmart. Think of it this way: every employee, we subsidize them by about $2,000.
Just think about that. And by the way, the Walmart family, they're worth $130 billion. So they could afford to pay a living wage. They could afford to have health insurance for their employees. They could afford to do all that shit, and they could still have probably $120 billion.
Well, that's the thing that's so offensive about all of this. And having, you've traveled the country. Many of these Walmarts are in a small community. They come in and out of, I mean, they're in big cities, but they're in some very small communities. So where they suck up, they close up all the mom and pop shops because they can't compete with the prices, because the average person is just trying to pay their bills. And if a gallon of milk is $1 cheaper, you're gonna go there, right?
Yes.
So that's what they do. And then this rampant greed is so, I always quote that line from the movie Wall Street. Like, when is enough enough?
It's not enough.
How many yachts can you water ski behind? Mm-hmm. It's like, what more do you need? I don't understand. Like, there's no more compassion in this country. It's unbelievable.
Well, even the fact, Graham, that the Walmarts know that when they have $130 billion themselves, that doesn't help the economy. That stagnates an economy. So if that money, those $130 billion, let's say they only had half as much. Let's say they had $65 billion. I did that math on the fly. Let's say they had $65 billion, but the other $65 billion they gave to their employees. You know where that $65 billion would be? In our fucking economy, helping boost it up. And people would, then they take that money and they spend it at a store, and they spend it at another store, they buy something. So it helps boost our economy. But when the Walmarts have $130 billion, it sits in an offshore bank account somewhere, or it sits in their bank account, or they buy a property with it and it sits empty. That's how rich people spend their money. Just so you know, it doesn't do anything to help the economy. They already have everything they need. They already have all the cars and clothes and shoes and air conditioner. They have everything they need. So they don't spend that money to help the economy. Graham, you want to finish?
Well, no, it's a good point. Like, even take the benevolence out of it, right? Take the philanthropy out of it, the equation. Just from a dollars and cents standpoint, if you're the biggest the biggest employer in the country, wouldn't you want to stimulate more of the economy?
Yes.
Because you would get that back. And then don't you have, and then just, I don't know, do you see your reflection in the mirror? Like, how do you not go, I want to help people? How do you look at the abject poverty that's in this country right now, today? Right now, today, how do you look at that? When you see a homeless person, how do you go, sorry, I guess I need a new helicopter to fly me to the Hamptons?
When I was a kid, Graham, I'm sure when you were a kid too, people used to have full-time jobs working at Sears. Like grown-up people would be, what do you do for a living? I sell appliances at Sears. What do you do for a living? I sell shoes at Sears. What do you do for a living? I work in children's clothing at Sears. What do you do for a living? I work at Buck. Those were grown-up jobs. You could raise a family. You had a job at Sears. Can you imagine someone at Walmart? What do you do? I work at Walmart, and that's it. Yeah, that's why we're poor and we're on food stamps. So we went from Sears and Roebuck being the #1 retailer in America, giving people living wages, health insurance, and everybody made money. And then Walmart comes in and says, no, we can take those jobs, ship them to poorer people in a more desperate situation in a third world country, and we can cut everybody's salary, get rid of the unions, and all that profit comes to us. It doesn't go to the workers. It doesn't go to the economy. It doesn't go to help anybody. It doesn't go to our tax base. That money goes to them, and that's it. So that the new economy is slave wages, and all the profits go to the top, which is why we have income disparity. The income inequality right now is bigger than the fucking Gilded Age, and that's why we need a Teddy Roosevelt. And that's what's wrong in places like Walmart, and that's what's wrong with this economy. And if you listen closely, the Democrats have zero plans on how to fix that. Hey, MSNBC just hired Megyn Kelly to make sure Santa Claus stays white. If you're sick of that kind of bullshit lefty corporatism from the news, support aggressive progressives right here at the Young Turks Network. You become a member for $10 a month. It gets you access to the whole show. We do an hour every week, and it gets you access to all the other member benefits at the Young Turks. Stick your thumb in the eye of the corporate news and become a member of TYT Network. Go to tytnetwork.com/join. and find out what it's all about.